Welcome to another installment of 5-Minute Tones. I hope you've all been fantastic, and I hope you're all gearing up for some well-deserved time off over the festive season where you can spend some time with your loved ones, eat a bunch of delicious food, and noodle around on your guitars. And this preset is going to be pretty good for the noodling aspect of that. It's a variation on the Rockman-inspired patch that I have shared before. I was asked to take a look at the tri-stereo chorus in the chorus block of the Axe FX3. So I thought, what better way to do it than like an ultimate plastic tri-chorus preset. So the most important part of this is having a guitar where you can get access to some parallel single coil action. This is a Fender Buddy Guy Strat with lace sensor gold pickups in it. I've got it on the bridge and middle pickup in parallel. It's a pretty spanky sounding guitar without anything on it. Let's have a listen to the DI sound. So already nice and shimmery, but we're going to start by adding 2 blocks. From my blocks library, if you don't have my blocks library, I will link it in the video description. We're going to add this Rockman Clean 2 block, which just uses a tilt EQ centered at around 1600 Hertz. There's quite a bit of gain on it. And then we're going to run that into a compressor with the fat and squishy block in here. So this is the studio feedback compressor, ratio around 4, auto attack and release and makeup gain on there. What I'm going to do is just let you hear this compressor without the filter, and you will hear the low strings on the guitar kind of just pushing it way too far. So using the filter is pulling out low end, boosting the highs. It's going to mean that the compressor is really focusing on those high strings. And I think ultimately it just kind of makes it sound like a bad acoustic guitar, but that's what we want for this sort of tone. Very, very nice. Let's do this. Let's add the stereo tri-chorus in the chorus block. And shout out to my buddy Tim Noonan for sending me over these settings. They matched the tri-chorus in the Axe FX with their actual full tone, that 80s rat chorus. I've saved it in here just as Turk. So you can see the depths are all around 60-ish%, but they're all offset from one another. Delay time at 10.65 milliseconds, rate at 1 Hertz. We can play around with that. But this is where the magic really, really happens. Check this out. That is so good. You can play around with the rate on this tri-chorus, and between like 0.5 and maybe 2 or 3 Hertz, it's pretty reasonable. You bring it up, you get even more of that syrupy effect on there. I really like to get that kind of like popping sound out of the filter into the compressor there, or a slightly slower rate on here is pretty lush as well. And not too bad for a kind of like funky slap pop tone as well. I've just turned the rate up to pretty close to where it was. What we want to do is layer a little bit of pitch detune and some reverb on top of this. So again, to the Mighty Blocks library, we will go pitch 1 and we will go micro pitch shift number 231. This one was matched to the Eventide H3000 hardware. Let's just change the input mode to stereo on there. And then let's use good old Rich Hall for the reverb over here. We'll just use it at stock settings, and you can adjust the mix and time to taste. Let's have a listen to what they bring to the party. While we're at it, having some fun, I've added the 2290 delay in here, dotted eighth note, sync to the tempo, 30% mix. Check this out. Now this should load fine into the FM3 and FM9 as well. And if you've checked out my 1987 inspired patch for Whitesnake tunes, you would have seen that there's two scenes in there using the USA lead mid-gain for the kind of usual thing. And then there's a filter comp and chorus from this patch, which you can use to switch seamlessly, very handy on the FM3, to this super plastic sounding clean. I use it all the time and I really, really like it. And it is super fun having this big syrupy tri-chorus on there running into pitch detune. And the 2290 as well. Have some fun with this patch. Go and just absolutely indulge yourself this festive season with some great 80s cleans. If you want to support what I'm doing on the channel, links in the video description, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks so much for watching.